And welcome back. Welcome back to the Tournament of Champions. Woo! Look at that. We are working our way through this tournament to determine who is going to be the champion of champions. Okay? We're going to go right to our next fight, and I'll be right back. Hold on. Oh, that's good music. That's a group called White Stone, and I'm gonna put put that song in the link with all these fights too, cause that group is smoking. Gotta tell you. All right, who we have next in our matchup? A dream matchup. If you look at all these matchups here, right? I mean, you would pay anything, whatever you could, to get in to see any one of those matchups. And, they'd all be sold out. But how much money would these guys make today if they were able to fight? And this whole tournament was set up in the scenario that I have concocted. All right, so we have Ali versus Joe Louis. This one has been talked about a lot by people, who would win and so forth. My name is Mark Shepard, and this is my channel, Mark My Words. And I have put these guys all in their prime, having never fought one another. And I've given Ali back his prime. And I said, this would be an intriguing matchup. And this is the one that everyone has talked about for so long. Could Joe Louis beat Muhammad Ali? My father was a big Joe Louis fan. And in his mind, nobody was going to beat Joe Louis. But let me give you the background, the stats on these guys. Starting with Joe Louis. All right, yep, Joe Louis, okay. Joseph Louis Barrow, born May 3rd, 1914, and he died April 12th, 1981. He was champion from 1937 to 1949, 25 consecutive title defenses. Man, excuse me. Excuse me. Yes, it's allergy time around here. All right, so a record of 66 wins, 3 losses, 52 KOs. His style, very methodical, great jab, great precision power in his right hand. This man could throw a 1-2 like nobody's business. And it's not that it was so fast, but it was perfectly timed, straight, precise. And when he landed that, good night. I mean, he had everything behind it too. Whew. What can I, oh yes. He had some tough opponents with Nady Brown, Tommy Farr, Max Schmeling, who beat him. Schmeling weighing 199 at the time. Billy Conn almost beat Joe Louis, and I'll tell you how. And Billy Conn was 174 pounds with a 72-inch reach. And we're going to talk about that because that's I think that's important. Here's the tail of the tape. Joe Louis, 6'2", 200 pounds with a 76-inch reach. And that's Joe Louis. Now, let's take a look at Joe. I always like to show these guys training. It's pretty cool how these guys would train. And you see how he's cut, you see the size of him. Pretty good size fellow, especially for that day. If I were competing, if I was fighting, I would train at night because that's when my bouts were, that's when I would want to train. See him knocking with that right hand, boom, straight right hand, right across. Turns his shoulder into it. Left hook will take you out. 1, 2, 3, 1. Uppercut. Straight right, coming right across. Joe Louis was a bad, bad man. Stylish in the day. Look how he rips those punches. Straight right hand over the cross, top. Very good jab. And when they said when he got you in trouble, you're out. There's nothing you were gonna do. That's how good he was. Okay. Now, who's he fighting? He's gonna fight Muhammad Ali. I'm gonna give you Ali stats. I'll pull up some Ali footage, and then we're gonna put these guys in the ring together, and let's see what happens. Okay, so Muhammad Ali, born Cassius Marcellus Clay, January 17th, 1942, and he passed away June 3rd of 2016. He had a record of 56 wins, 5 losses, 37 KOs. He became champion at 22 years of age in 1964 when he beat Sonny Liston. He was the first 3-time champion. Retired at 39 was his last fight. This man had 3.5 years of his prime taken from him, from 1967 to 1970, age 25 to 29. Can you imagine the Ali we would have seen? Well, we're going to see it, at least in our imagination, because he's 10% better than the best any of us have ever seen him. His style, fluid, fast hands, great footwork, great jab. He used his jab. Now, Ali used his jab to keep you off balance. He'd cut you with it eventually. He'd smack you silly. It was his rangefinder. It was his keep you at bay. And then he'd hit you with all kinds of combinations off of that jab. Great combinations, great agility. Here's another thing. I mean, the man had a great chin, and you could rock this man as hard as you wanted. And I think it had a lot to do with his stamina, because his stamina, they said, like Marciano, he just loved the gym, loved working out, loved road work, and just was a workaholic in the gym. So he wasn't going to tire out. And you have to get out of your minds, some of the younger folks, of the Ali that you did see when he was much older. And he didn't have what he had, like his last fight with, let me see, his last fight was with, it'll come to my mind, but before he was exiled. That's the one I'm thinking of. But the body he had, for example, when he fought Sonny Liston the second time, is not the same physical body he had when he fought Liston at 22 years of age. So you see, as his body develops and to strengthen him, and again, your prime is when your mind and your physicality are in sync with each other, and you have all the confidence in the world in what you're doing. You don't have that fear factor going on. It's a healthy kind of fear that you always have when you step into the ring. But, oh my goodness, the hand speed, the footwork, that would have been amazing to see Ali in his prime. Phew. Okay, so, tail of the tape. Ali was 6'3", 220 pounds, with a reach of 80 inches. He defended his title 19 times. Okay, so I'm going to pull up some Ali footage. I'll be right back, and then we're going to put these two in the ring. Let's see what happens, okay? Be right back.